Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins History Today. We're uncovering the real story behind. Let's get to start at top 12 first up the 1942 wheat penny with no mint mark, a historic copper coin from the World War II era that may look ordinary, but can carry surprising value in today's market. So stay tuned, because that 1 cent coin in your pocket might be more special than you think. Have you ever looked closely at an old 1 cent coin and wondered if it could change your life? Today, we're talking about the 1942 wheat penny with no mint mark, a small copper coin that many people still have lying in drawers, piggy banks, or old collections. While it may look ordinary, this historic penny has a fascinating past and, in certain cases, a surprisingly high market value in US dollars. What does no mint mark mean? When a 1942 wheat penny has no mint mark, it means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, Philadelphia pennies did not carry a mint mark. This is very important, because many new collectors mistakenly think no mint mark means rare by default, but the real value depends on condition, errors, and special characteristics. The year 1942 was a critical moment in American history. The United States was deeply involved in World War II, and copper was becoming a strategic metal needed for ammunition and military equipment. Even though pennies were still made of copper in 1942, this year directly led to the famous 1943 steel cents, making 1942 one of the last full copper wheat pennies before the change. The obverse front of the coin features Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner. On the reverse back, you'll see the iconic 2 wheat stalks, symbolizing prosperity and strength. The words 1 cent and United States of America sit between the wheat ears, with E pluribus unum at the top. The 1942 wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. This high copper content alone makes the coin appealing to collectors today, especially when compared to modern zinc pennies that feel lighter and cheaper. Approximately 657 million wheat pennies were struck in Philadelphia in 1942. That is a very large number, which means most 1942 no mint mark pennies are not rare by mintage alone. However, value comes from condition, preservation, and minting mistakes. In heavily circulated or worn condition, a 1942 no mint mark wheat penny is typically worth 5 to 25 cents. Even though that may not sound exciting, remember, this is still many times its face value and reflects its historical importance. If the coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, the value rises significantly. A clean, red-colored 1942 wheat penny can be worth $5 to $25, and in higher grades like MS65 or above, prices can climb to $50 to $150 or more depending on demand. Matters: brown, red. Collectors classify copper coins by color, brown being lowest value, red-brown, RB moderate value, full red, RD highest value. A fully red 1942 wheat penny with no damage is far more valuable than a dark or corroded one. Increased value. This is where things get exciting. Some 1942 wheat pennies have mint errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, double die obverse DDO, wrong planchet errors. Error coins can sell for hundreds to even thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and condition. About fake claims. Many viral videos claim that a normal 1942 penny is worth millions of dollars. This is not true. Only extremely rare error coins or experimental strikes reach very high prices. Always verify claims with PCGS or NGC grading services before believing exaggerated values. Coin. Use a digital scale to check weight. Should be close to 3.11 G. Inspect the coin under magnification and look for doubling or unusual markings. Never clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its value instantly. Today, wheat pennies remain one of the most collected U.S. coins worldwide. Because of the steady demand, well-preserved 1942 no mint mark pennies continue to hold and slowly increase in value, especially certified examples. Absolutely. Even if your coin isn't rare, it's a piece of American wartime history. And if you ever discover an error or high-grade example, that 1 cent coin could be worth more than you ever imagined. So before you spend that old penny, take a closer look. The 1942 wheat penny with no mint mark may not make you rich overnight, but in the world of coin collecting, knowledge is value. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you own a 1942 wheat penny. Your treasure might already be in your pocket. Next up, 1951. D wheat penny sitting in your pocket or old coin box could still be worth real money today. Many people ignore these coins because they look common, but collectors know that condition, mint mark, and history can change everything. In today's video, we will uncover the true value, complete history, and collector demand of the 1951 D Lincoln wheat cent. The Lincoln wheat penny was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, replacing the Indian head cent. The reverse shows two wheat stalks, symbolizing prosperity and America's agricultural strength, which is why collectors lovingly call it the wheat penny. The year 1951 was a period of recovery and growth in the United States after World War II. America was rebuilding, industry was booming, and millions of coins were struck to support everyday commerce. The wheat penny was still in use, just a few years before it would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The 1951 D wheat penny was produced at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark below the year. The Denver Mint was known for producing strong, well-struck coins, which makes high-grade examples attractive to collectors today. In 1951, the Denver Mint produced approximately 625 million wheat pennies. Because of this high mintage, the coin is considered common, but common does not mean worthless. Many of these coins were heavily circulated, making well-preserved examples much harder to find. The 1951 D wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. On the obverse, you see Abraham Lincoln with the words, "In God we trust, liberty," and the date 1951. The reverse features 1 cent, United States of America, and the iconic wheat ears. In circulated condition, meaning the coin shows where the 1951 D wheat penny typically sells for 3 to 10 cents. While this may not sound exciting, millions of people still collect wheat pennies, and even low-grade examples are saved rather than spent. When the coin is found in uncirculated condition, meaning no wear and full original luster, its value increases significantly. A 1951 D wheat penny in mint state MS 63 to MS 65 can sell for $1 to $15, depending on eye appeal and strike quality. The real collector interest comes in high-grade certified coins. A 1951 D wheat penny graded MS 67 by PCGS or NGC can sell for $100 to over $300, and even higher if it has exceptional color, such as deep red copper luster. Copper pennies are graded by color: brown BN, red brown RB, and red RD. Red examples are the most valuable because copper naturally darkens over time. A fully red 1951 D penny is much harder to find and brings a premium price. Some 1951 D wheat pennies have mint errors, which can greatly increase value. Look for off-center strikes, die cracks, lamination errors, or weak strikes. These error coins can sell for $20 to several $100s, depending on rarity and visibility. The coin itself is not rare, but rare in top condition. This is an important concept in coin collecting. Millions were made, but only a tiny percentage survive without damage, wear, or discoloration, which is why collectors still actively search for premium examples. If your 1951 D wheat penny is heavily worn, it's best to keep it as part of collection. If it looks shiny, sharp, and clean, consider professional grading. Never clean your coin, as cleaning can destroy collector value instantly. Wheat pennies represent a powerful era in American history. They were used during the Great Depression, World War II, and post-war expansion. Holding a 1951 D wheat penny is like holding a small piece of American heritage in your hand. So, while the 1951 D Lincoln wheat penny may not make you rich overnight, the right example in the right condition can still be worth real money today. Check your old jars, albums, and inherited collections. You never know what treasure you might already own. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and comment below if you've ever found a wheat penny in your change. Next up, did you know that a simple 1-cent coin from 1952 could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today? Many people ignore old pennies, but collectors know that Lincoln wheat pennies hide incredible stories and surprising value. In today's video, we will explore the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny, its history, mint marks, rare varieties, and how much it can be worth in today's market. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin features Lincoln's portrait on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back, symbolizing prosperity and unity. The wheat penny series ran until 1958, making the 1952 issue part of the final era of this historic design. The year 1952 was a time of recovery and growth in the United States after World War II. America was strengthening its economy, industries were booming, and coin production was high to support everyday commerce. Because of this, millions of wheat pennies were produced, but not all of them are common today. The 1952 wheat penny with no mint mark was struck in Philadelphia. These coins were made in very large numbers. In circulated condition, they're usually worth 5 cents to 25 cents, but in uncirculated or mint state condition, values can rise to $5 to $20, and high-grade examples graded MS 67 or higher can sell for hundreds of dollars. The 1952 D wheat penny, struck at the Denver Mint, is more desirable among collectors. In worn condition, it typically sells for 10 cents to 50 cents, but in uncirculated condition, values range from $10 to $50. Rare, perfectly preserved examples have sold for $1,000 or more at auction. The 1952 S wheat penny is often considered the most collectible of the 3. San Francisco produced fewer coins compared to Philadelphia and Denver. In average condition, values start around 25 cents, but uncirculated pieces can easily reach $20 to $100, with top-grade coins selling for several $1,000s. The 1952 wheat penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Because of today's copper prices, even damaged wheat pennies have intrinsic metal value. However, collectors value condition, rarity, and mint marks far more than melt value. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A penny that looks dull, scratched, or heavily worn will be worth far less than one with sharp details and original red color. Coins graded red RD by professional services like PCGS or NGC command the highest prices. Some 1952 wheat pennies are valuable due to mint errors. These include off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, and clip planchets. Error coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how dramatic and rare the mistake is. Collectors love the 1952 wheat penny because it represents the end of an era. Just 6 years later, the wheat design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial. This makes late-date wheat pennies especially attractive to long-term collectors. While most 1952 wheat pennies will not make you a millionaire overnight, rare mint state or error examples absolutely can be life-changing finds. Many valuable coins are still discovered in old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers. To check your 1952 wheat penny, look closely at the mint mark below the date, examine the coin under good lighting, and compare it with online grading images. If you believe you have a rare or high-grade coin, professional grading is highly recommended. Top-grade 1952 S and 1952 D wheat pennies have sold at major auctions for $3,000 to $6,000 or more, proving that even common year coins can become extremely valuable when preserved perfectly. Never clean your wheat pennies. Cleaning can destroy value instantly. Store them safely. Handle them carefully, and always do proper research before selling. Patience and knowledge are the keys to success in coin collecting. So before you ignore that old penny, take another look. A 1952 Lincoln wheat penny could be a small piece of history and possibly a valuable treasure hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you've ever found a wheat penny worth big money. Next up, 1953. D 1-cent wheat penny in your old coin jar could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. Most people ignore wheat pennies, thinking they're common and worthless, but collectors know the truth. Some 1953 D wheat cents are hiding serious market value, and in this video, I'll reveal the full history, rare details, errors, and today's real market prices of this fascinating coin. The 1953 D Lincoln wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark below the date. This coin is part of the legendary Lincoln wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. It features Abraham Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing America's agricultural strength and prosperity. In 1953, America was in a post-World War II economic boom. The Korean War had just ended. Industries were expanding, and everyday coins like this penny were used constantly in daily life. Because of heavy circulation, most 1953 D wheat pennies are found today in worn condition, making high-grade examples much more valuable. This iconic coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB appear subtly on the coin. The 1953 D wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving a rich reddish-brown color when preserved well. This high copper content also adds appeal to collectors worldwide. The Denver Mint produced approximately 700 million 1953 D wheat pennies. While that sounds like a huge number, survival rates in uncirculated and error conditions are extremely low. That's why collectors pay strong prices for clean, well-struck examples today. Collectors love the 1953 D wheat penny because it represents the final decade of the wheat cent era. Coins from this period are affordable for beginners, but can become extremely valuable in top condition, especially when professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. In circulated condition, a 1953 D wheat penny typically sells for 10 cents to 50 cents depending on where. Even heavily worn coins still hold value because they are no longer minted and contain real copper, which many collectors actively seek. Now here's where things get exciting. In uncirculated condition, MS 63 to MS 65, a 1953 D wheat penny can sell for $15 to $75. Coins with strong original luster and no marks are becoming harder to find every year. At the top level, MS 66 and MS 67 graded examples have sold for $1,000 to over $3,000 at major auctions. These coins are extremely rare, perfectly preserved, and often stored in collections for decades before appearing on the market. Some 1953 D wheat pennies have valuable mint errors, including double die obverse, off-center strikes, die cracks, repunch mint marks. Error coins can sell for $200 to $5,000 plus, depending on severity and condition. To check your coin, look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair, clear wheat lines on the reverse, red or red-brown color, no heavy scratches or corrosion. If your coin looks unusually clean, it could be worth professional grading. Never clean a wheat penny. Cleaning can destroy up to 90% of its value instantly. Collectors want original surfaces. Even dirt is better than polish. A clean coin is often worth less than a dirty one. Wheat pennies are no longer in circulation. Copper prices are rising, and collectors worldwide continue buying U.S. coins. Because of this, the 1953 D wheat penny's value is slowly increasing, especially for high-grade and error examples. Millions of people unknowingly own wheat pennies in old jars, inherited collections, or drawers. That ordinary-looking penny could be a hidden collectible waiting to change your luck. Always check dates and mint marks before spending old coins. So the next time you see a 1953 D Lincoln wheat penny, don't ignore it. It's more than just 1 cent. It's a piece of American history that could be worth real money today. Next up today, we're diving deep into one of America's classic coins, the 1956 D Lincoln wheat penny. This small copper coin may look ordinary, but its history, minting story, and collector demand make it an important piece of U.S. numismatic history. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much this coin is worth today, and whether you should keep it, sell it, or treasure forever. The 1956 D Wheat Penny is a 1-cent coin produced by the United States Mint in Denver, which is identified by the small D mint mark below the date. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series, minted from 1909 to 1958. On the front, it features President Abraham Lincoln, while the back displays 2 wheat stalks symbolizing prosperity and America's agricultural strength. By 1956, the United States was experiencing economic growth after World War II. Wheat pennies were still used in everyday transactions, and millions of Americans handled these coins daily without realizing they would one day become collectibles. The 1956 D penny represents the final years of the wheat cent era, just 2 years before the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1956. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VB originally appeared on earlier Lincoln cents. The 1956 D Wheat Penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving a warm reddish tone when uncirculated. Because of its high copper content, many people today mistakenly believe it must be extremely rare, but condition is everything. The Denver Mint produced approximately 1.1 billion 1956 D Wheat Pennies. Yes, that is a massive number. This high mintage means the coin itself is not rare, but finding one in excellent condition is where the value begins to rise. Most surviving examples show we're from years of circulation. If your 1956 D Wheat Penny has heavy wear, scratches, or fading details, its value today is usually 2 to 10 cents. These coins are commonly found in old collections, jars, or inherited coin boxes. While not valuable individually, they still carry historical charm and copper value. In fine to extremely fine condition, where the wheat lines and Lincoln's features are still visible, the value typically ranges from 20 cents to 50 cents. This is where most collector-grade 1956 D pennies fall. These coins are affordable and popular among beginner collectors completing wheat cent sets. Now, this is where things get interesting. An uncirculated 1956 D Wheat Penny, with full mint luster and no wear, can be worth $3 to $10, depending on color and eye appeal. Coins with strong red coloration are especially desirable and command higher prices. If the coin is professionally graded MS 66 or higher, prices can jump significantly. High-grade certified examples have sold for $40 to over $100, and rare top population coins can reach even more. These are coins that were carefully preserved since the day they were minted. Some 1956 D Wheat Pennies are valuable because of mint errors. Look for off-center strikes, die cracks, repunched mint marks, or double die features. Error coins can be worth anywhere from $25 to several $100s, depending on severity and condition. Use a magnifying glass and good lighting. Check the mint mark, inspect the wheat stalks, and look closely at Lincoln's face. If the coin appears unusually sharp, glossy, or flawed in an unusual way, it may be worth professional evaluation. Never clean the coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. The 1956 D Wheat Penny remains popular because it represents the end of an era. It's one of the last wheat cents ever minted, and collectors love it for its classic design, copper composition, and affordability. It's often the first wheat penny people recognize when starting a collection. Absolutely. Even if your coin isn't rare, it holds historical and collectible value. Over time, copper prices and collector interest continue to rise. Saving wheat pennies today could mean stronger value in the future, especially for high-quality examples. If you believe your 1956 D Wheat Penny is special, consider getting it graded by a professional service. Store it in a protective holder and keep it away from moisture. Knowledge is power in coin collecting, and understanding real value protects you from scams and false claims. So the next time you see a 1956 D Wheat Penny, don't dismiss it as pocket change. It's a small piece of American history with real collector value. Next up, today's video is all about one small coin that many people still overlook, the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 1-cent coin, but under the right conditions, this penny could be worth far more than 1 cent in today's market. Stay with us till the end, because the value of this coin might surprise you. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, officially known as a Lincoln cent, was produced from 1909 to 1958. It features two wheat stalks on the reverse side, symbolizing America's agricultural strength. The 1957 D coin comes from the final years of the wheat penny era, making it historically important for collectors. The D mint mark on the 1957 wheat penny means it was minted at the Denver Mint. Denver produced hundreds of millions of pennies in 1957, but not all of them survived in collectible condition. Coins from this mint are known for strong strikes, which increases collector interest in high-grade examples. The year 1957 was a powerful time in American history. The Cold War was intense. The space race had begun, and the U.S. economy was expanding rapidly. The 1957 D wheat pennies circulated during a time of major global change, making a real piece of history you can still hold in your hand. On the obverse side, the coin features Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner. On the reverse, you'll see the iconic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. The design remained mostly unchanged for nearly 50 years, ending just 1 year later in 1958. The 1957 D wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Because of its high copper content, the melt value alone is higher than face value, though melting coins is illegal. Still, copper content adds long-term interest for collectors and investors. Approximately 1 billion 1957 D wheat pennies were minted. While that sounds like a lot, most were heavily circulated. Finding one today in uncirculated or mint state condition is much harder than people think, which is where serious value begins. In average circulated condition, a 1957 D wheat penny is usually worth 3 cents to 10 cents. However, even worn examples are still collected, especially by beginners building complete wheat penny sets. In uncirculated condition, values rise sharply. A 1957 D penny graded MS 63 to MS 65 can sell for $5 to $25, depending on eye appeal and strike quality. Red-colored copper coins, known as red cents, are especially desirable. Top-graded coins, such as MS 67 Red, have sold for hundreds of dollars at auctions. These coins must have perfect surfaces, full original luster, and no visible marks. Only a small number of 1957 D pennies exist in these elite grades. Some 1957 D wheat pennies are valuable because of mint errors. Look for off-center strikes, die cracks, repunch mint marks, and double die features. Error coins can range from $50 to several $1,000s, depending on rarity and condition. Always examine your coin under good lighting with a magnifying glass. Look at the mint mark, date, and surface condition. Avoid cleaning your coin. Cleaning can destroy up to 90% of its collector value instantly. Collectors love the 1957 D wheat penny because it represents the end of an era. With the wheat design disappearing in 1958, coins in the late 1950s carry strong nostalgic and historical value. While most 1957 D wheat pennies won't make you a millionaire, a rare error or top-grade example can still bring impressive money. The real treasure lies in knowledge. Know what to look for and how to protect your coins. So before you ignore that old penny in your drawer, take a closer look. You might be holding a 1957 D wheat penny worth far more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and value, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Have you ever found a valuable wheat penny? Happy coin hunting. If you want, I can also write a short viral intro, create YouTube title plus description plus tags, make a thumbnail text idea. Next up today, we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1958 D. Lincoln wheat penny, one of the final wheat cents ever produced, and why collectors around the world still search for it today. The 1958 D. wheat penny is a United States 1-cent coin struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small D mint mark below the date. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln wheat cent series, first introduced in 1909. The 1958 issue is especially important because it marks the end of the wheat penny era, making it historically significant for collectors. The The Lincoln wheat penny was created to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. It became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. By 1958, the United States was entering a new economic era, and the wheat design was about to be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. This makes the 1958 D penny a true farewell coin to a legendary design. On the front side of the coin, we see Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the words, "In God We Trust," along the top, Liberty on the left, and the date 1958 on the right. Just below the date sits the D mint mark, confirming it was struck in Denver. The design is simple yet powerful, and even after decades, Lincoln's portrait remains instantly recognizable. The reverse of the coin features two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the Latin motto E pluribus unum at the top. These wheat ears symbolize prosperity and agricultural strength. Because 1958 was the last year this design was used, many collectors consider this coin a symbolic ending to a classic chapter in U.S. coinage. The Denver Mint produced over 800 million 1958 D wheat pennies, which means the coin itself is not extremely rare in circulated condition. However, high-quality examples, especially those with sharp details and original red color, are far more difficult to find today. This is where condition becomes everything. The 1958 D wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that iconic reddish-brown color. As copper prices have risen over time, these older pennies have gained additional interest from both collectors and investors. Their solid copper content adds intrinsic value beyond face value. Most 1958 D wheat pennies found today are in circulated condition, often brown or dark brown in color. In these grades, the coin may only be worth a small premium. However, coins graded MS 65, MS 66, or higher by professional grading services can be worth significantly more, sometimes reaching impressive prices at auction. Collectors classify wheat pennies by color: brown BN, red brown RB, and red RD. A fully red 1958 D wheat penny with no were as highly desirable. These coins were often stored carefully from the day they were minted and are much harder to find than their brown counterparts. Some of the most valuable 1958 D wheat pennies are not regular strikes, but error coins. These include double dies, off-center strikes, clip planchets, and die cracks. Error coins can dramatically increase the value, sometimes turning a common penny into a highly collectible treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Today, a circulated 1958 D wheat penny may be worth only a few cents to a couple of dollars. However, uncirculated examples can sell for $10, $50, $100, or more, depending on grade and color. Top-graded red examples have sold for hundreds of dollars in the collector market, proving that condition truly defines value. Collectors love the 1958 D wheat penny because it represents the final chapter of the wheat cent story. Many people aim to complete full Lincoln wheat penny sets, and this coin is essential. Its historical importance, classic design, and copper composition make it a must-have for serious numismatists. If you think you have a 1958 D wheat penny, examine it closely under good light. Look for sharp details, original color, and any unusual markings or doubling. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can severely reduce its value. If the coin appears uncirculated or unique, professional grading may be worth considering. While most 1958 D wheat pennies will not make you rich overnight, rare high-grade or error examples can still bring surprising returns. Many valuable coins have been discovered in old jars, drawers, and inherited collections. The key is knowledge, patience, and knowing what to look for. The 1958 D Lincoln wheat penny may look small, but it carries a powerful legacy. As the last wheat penny ever struck, it stands as a historic symbol of American coinage. So before you dismiss that old penny, take a closer look. You might be holding a piece of history worth far more than you think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you've ever found a wheat penny in your collection.